This page is the independent practice part of the notes that we just did. So you are going to complete this on your own, right? So you can use the page 1 of the notes we did, and you can use page 2. But you are going to try to do 4, 5, 6. Now 6 has multiple parts, and you're going to do 7 by yourself. So I want you to try to use your notes and raise your hand if you need help. So pause the video now. You're going to try to do it yourself, and then I will go over the answers with you. Okay, so first one, it wants us to circle or highlight the value that is greater. So we can use this number line up here, right? So we have a number line right here. And if you want to practice, this is a horizontal line because it goes from left to right. Okay, so let's practice plotting. I have the value of 5 and the value of 9. And if I'm looking at my number line, 9 is further to the right. So 9 is the greater value. All right. We have 8, which is over here, 8 units to the right. And we have -8, which is 8 units to the left. I'm looking to the number that is furthest to the right, which would be 8. So I know that +8 is greater than -8. Okay. We now have -2 or -4. So I'm going to move 2 units to the left, and I'm going to move 4 units to the left. So I need to look at which one of those is further to the right. So this one is right here from 0, and this one is right here. So it looks like -2 is further to 0 than -4. So -2 is going to be greater than -4. All right. We have -3, which is 3 units to the left, and we have 7, which is 7 units to the right. Which one of those numbers is further to the right? Yep, it is 7. So 7 is greater than -3. All right, we have -9, which would be 9 units to the left. And we have -1, which is 1 unit to the left. -1 is further to the right. So it is going to be greater than. The last one, we have 3, which is 3 units to the right. And we have 9, which is 9 units to the right. So which one of those numbers is further to the right? It's 9. So 9 is greater than 3, right? Okay. So the next section, though, wanted you to do the opposite, right? So they wanted you to find, let's do purple. They wanted you to circle the value that is less. So they didn't want you to do greater this time. They wanted you to do less than, which means you need to go further away from 0 or further to the left. Okay, we have 1 and we have 4. So I need to find which one is going further to the left, which would be 1, right? So 1 is your value that is less than. Okay. We have 0 or 10. We know that 0 is further to the left than 10 is. All right. Next, you have 5. So I would go 5 units to the right. And I have -6, which is 6 units to the left. So which one of those is further to the left? -6. All right, last one. We have -7, which is 7 units to the left, and -10, which is 10 units to the left. So, if I was to kind of use a visual, to get to -7, I moved that much. But to get to -10, I moved that much. So which line is longer? The line that gets to -10, right? So that lets me know -10 is further to the left. It is less than. All right. So for these ones, you needed to complete the sentence with using less than, greater than, or equal to. So complete the sentence with less than, greater than, or equal to. But then it also says to write out the phrase as I would say it. Okay, so 10 is greater than 4. Actually, let me make that a little bit smaller for you. Because 10 is further to the right than 4 on a number line. And how I would write this would be 10 is greater than 4, right? Okay, we have the absolute value of 16 and 1.6. So remember, first things first, you have to solve the absolute value first. So to get to 16, I moved 16 units. So the absolute value of 16 is 16. Is 16 larger than 1.6? Yes. So 16 is greater than 1.6. So I would write the absolute value of 16 is greater than 1.6. Okay? I have -7 and -3. -7 is further to the left. So -7 is going to be less than -3. So I would write -7 is less than -3. And if you need to draw out a number line to do this, there's nothing wrong with that. You can also, if you wanted to use the number line up here, you could do that too. We could do that if we wanted to for these three, if it makes it easier. So let's do, we have 0 and -8. Okay, one of those is further to the left, right? So -8 was further to the left. So 0 is greater than -8. So I'm going to write 0 is greater than 8. Okay. The next two, I'm going to have to find the absolute value first. So to get to +12, I move 12 units, right? So 12 is the absolute value. And to get to -18, I moved 18 units. So I'm comparing 12 to 18. And if we're comparing those, 12 is less than 18 because 18 goes further to the right, so it is greater than. So I'm going to write 12 is less, absolute value of 12 is less than the absolute value of, oopsie daisy, that's negative, of negative 18. All right, last one, and let's use it on the number line again. So we have 10 and 2. So 10 is 10 units to the right, and 2 is 2 units to the right. So 10 goes further to the right down the number line. So I know that 10 is going to be greater. So 10 is greater than 2. And I would write that out, right? So I would do 10 is greater than 2. Okay. Last question. All right, so we have our friend Doug here. Doug says that negative 7 is greater than negative 5 because 7 is greater than 5. Do we agree with our friend Doug, or do we need to help our friend Doug? Right, we might need to help our friend Doug here. So, let's explain. So Doug is saying that he thinks that negative 7 is greater than negative 5 because 7 is greater than 5. So let's go up and let's plot this on our number line to do a visual. So first thing, he said that negative 7 is greater than negative 5, right? But is that true? That's not true, right? Because in order for a number to be greater than another, it has to go further to the right. And if I was to draw my little lines to compare, my negative 5 from 0 is this long, and my negative 7 is that long. So negative 7 actually moves further to the left, making it less than negative 5. But Doug is also saying that 7 is greater than 5. So let's see if that claim is true. So I'm going to plot 7 and 5. So remember, the one that is greater is further to the right, and 7 is further to the right. So in this case, 7 is greater than positive 5. But in this case, negative 7 is further away, so it is less than. All right? So let's correct our friend Doug down there. Now that he had a visual and he kind of figured it out, right? So, do we agree with our friend Doug? No. Because with negative numbers, the further away from 0, the smaller the number. So no, because with negative numbers, the further, hopefully I have room, the further left on a number line you go, the less, I'm going to put smaller, sorry. The smaller the number is. That doesn't mean it's the value of the number, so we'll make sure to add that at the end. It is not the value of the number. And what I mean by that is that in positive world, 7 is more than 5. But in the negative world, just because 7 is a larger number on the positive side doesn't mean that it will be the larger number on the negative side. Okay? So this completes the independent practice on your own.